Do I believe my father would compete in MMA as a sport today? That is a good question.
Gentleman in the black hat here.
Appreciate it. Can I be afforded a question and one comment? If you're okay with that, thank you. On page 178 of your book, it talks about would your father have beat Conor McGregor? I don't care for that question, but my question is, do you believe your father would be participating in modern day mixed martial arts as a sport if he was here today?
Do I believe my father would compete in MMA as a sport today? That is a good question. I don't know if it's one that can be answered completely, but here's what I will tell you. He didn't believe in competing during his day. But also the tournaments of those days were very, they were like tag tournaments, and there were a lot of rules. And he didn't really believe in rules when it came to fighting. He was like, it's not really fighting if you're limiting what moves a person can do. It's not truly honestly expressing oneself as a fighter if you can't do all the moves, right? Now, there are rules in MMA for the safety of the fighters. So I don't know how he would feel about that, because they are very minimal, right? And there is protective gear and all that. I think he would have loved watching. I think he probably would have loved coaching. I'm sure he would have loved getting in there and tangling it up with some of the fighters. Maybe not as a filmed competition, but my father was that way with people. Like, he met, for instance, Joe Orbio, who's a dear family friend, who fought for the heavyweight boxing championship against Jerry Corey way back in the day, and they met and stood in a parking lot for like 3 hours talking about boxing and trading blows and technique, and like he loved that. So like, would he have liked to have gotten physical with some of these fighters and understand who they were and what they could do? Oh yeah, for sure. Would he want to do it in the ring as a sport in front of the cage or whatever you want to call it, as a sport in front of a whole bunch of people? Not sure.
So my comment correlates with the cage and boxing. Also on page 178, it mentions the same thing about would he have beat Muhammad Ali. So we flew in from Florida today just for this event. And yeah, 2 days ago, I happened to have fought Muhammad Ali Jr., Muhammad Ali's only biological son, in Orlando, Florida. And so it was a pillow fight. True story. You can look it up. It's a true story, right? We're both old. But it was fun. It was for entertainment. It was a youth crime prevention event. And on my way here, I still had some of the, if you don't know his story, and I'm obviously not going to tell this about your father, not about Muhammad Ali Jr., but he cured his trauma as a child. He didn't have Muhammad Ali's story. He had his own story, like you have your own story. And he used to make these medals and stuff, and he was giving them away to the kids that were doing youth MMA with no headshots. And I told him I wanted to bring one here to you. And so I'm going to go ahead and give this to you. It's not the most fanciest thing, but if you read, watch his documentary, this was part of his healing of trauma.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
And he's mad I didn't bring the big rose either. I was like, bro, I'm on an airplane.
Thank you so much. My father really admired Muhammad Ali. He loved to watch him fight. He would run the films backwards so that he would be in a southpaw stance, because my father fought what he called strong side forward, which is what we typically think of as southpaw. He had his right hand forward instead of his left, and he loved his footwork. And I mean, to this day, it's too bad they never got a chance to meet.
Yeah. Oh, they didn't meet?
No.
So those are fake pictures that people are putting together?
Yeah.
Wow, I never knew that.